self-storage industry. Happy Thursday, and thank you for joining us virtually for another great co-hosted SBOA live webinar. Today we have key software features in 2021 for the self-storage industry with Easy Storage Solutions. I'm Jessica Johnson. I'm the Vice President of the Storage Business Owners Alliance, and today I am actually broadcasting live from Orlando, Florida at the Florida Self-Storage Association Conference. It really feels so good to be back live and seeing people finally in person, but also we're doing hybrid events as well, like these live webinars to keep everyone connected and networking, so we can keep spreading the wealth of education and knowledge that we have with our partners. Today, my guest is Garrett Walpole. He's the sales manager from Easy Storage Solutions. Easy Storage Solutions has been a partner of the SBOA for many years now. Welcome today, Garrett.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you, and I appreciate the warm welcome. A little bit jealous that you're out there in Florida at a show. That's a bit distant, right? Distant memories of shows, and it's good to know that those are coming back. And I think people in the industry love getting back together, and that's going to be fun and exciting to see a lot of people at those shows. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, I see a lot of fist bumps, handshakes, and a lot of hugs. I think everybody is over COVID-19 and the effects that it had on the entire world and the industry, etc. So I'm excited to be here seeing everyone. Garrett, if you don't mind, could you just provide the audience with a background, your background in self-storage, and then a brief summary of what Easy Storage Solution provides as far as service and products for the self-storage industry?
You bet, and thank you again. I'm really excited to be here, and I love discussing self-storage in general. My background, just to give you a quick overview, and I won't go into too many of the details right now. Maybe I'll get into it more as we go through the software and how that relates to my background. But I grew up on a dairy farm of all things, and my uncle and my dad owned the dairy farm. They bought it for my grandpa, and you don't have a 401k or a pension plan, and so my grandfather had shared his knowledge of investing in assets such as rental properties, and self-storage is one that my uncle jumped into early in the late 80s and early 90s. I remember him building a facility, and those are some of my earliest memories of self-storage. My uncle and my dad actually building a self-storage facility, and me being there as a young kid. And so I've always been around it. I've always loved it. I understand passive income, and that's why I love self-storage industry. I've been here a couple years at Easy Storage. Just to give you a heads up as far as what we can provide, obviously management software is a key feature if you're a self-storage owner, and a bunch of the tools that go along with it. We integrate with several tools: call answering, service. We have our SEO and our marketing team. We even have bookkeeping and accounting here at our company. Access control. There's a lot of different features that can help you automate your self-storage facility. Myself, just to touch on my own investments, I'm actually part owner of a couple of facilities myself here in Southern Utah.
Oh.
And as of next week, I'm pretty excited about this. Me and a couple other partners, we're closing on a facility in Idaho. And I'll talk to in regards to that facility here shortly about what we plan on doing and how we plan on implementing a lot of our tools there, even though we're down here in Southern Utah and that's several hours away drive, how we can run that facility very effectively without any worry because of the tools that we have in place. So pretty fun. I love the industry, and I'm excited to be here and chatting with you. So thanks, Jessica.
Oh, you're welcome. And likewise, thank you for attending today with us and co-hosting this event. We really appreciate that, and we always appreciate the partnership with ESS that we have. Just real quick before we jump into today's presentation, we got Jim Mooney here in the background. You can't see because I'm on a different screen. Sorry, I'm working off my laptop. Everyone in the industry knows Jim Mooney. We're actually on a webinar. So sorry about that, but anyway, Jim's a great friend and an awesome person in the industry, a wealth of knowledge there. But before we jump in, I would like to go over just a few simple housekeeping items. They're going to be a little bent today because we're recording and broadcasting live from an event. But we are live. All audience members are muted. However, that does not mean you cannot ask questions throughout this webinar to Garrett or myself. Please ask those in the questions pane. I would love for you to interact with us and other attendees in the chat and question panel. I'm going to post important links throughout the webinar to get you connected to SBOA as well as Easy Storage Solutions, social media links, websites, etc. And if you're having any technical issues, there is an option where you can raise your hand. If you click on that icon, raise your hand, I will do my best to mitigate and help you through your technical issues. So right now, before we dive into the presentation, we have a couple quick polls that I'm going to launch. If you wouldn't mind taking a moment and answering these polls for us, we love to collect data and we would appreciate your honest and candid feedback. So I'm going to set the first poll. And here we go. Do you currently own a self-storage facility? Or are you looking to own a self-storage facility? The results are coming in. Give it another couple seconds here. Looks like the majority of today's audience currently owns a facility, and then a good percent are looking to own a facility. And then there's also another percent that answered neither. So we'll have to figure out your involvement in commercial real estate or self-storage. Maybe you're a vendor partner looking to get more information. So I'm going to shut this one down. Thank you all for responding. And let's go to number 2. Does your facility currently use a management software system? Huge amount of people saying yes, that they do. There's a variety of them out there. Hopefully the variety on today's call are Easy Storage Solutions customers or potential ones looking to learn more about this great software program that they have. I'm gonna close this one out. Oh wait, people are still voting. Let me give it a minute. 75% yes, 25% no. That 25% out there that says no, you're going to learn a lot today, and I highly suggest that after this webinar, you get in touch with either my team or the team over at Easy Storage Solutions to learn more. Automation is the way that the world is going. All right, next one. Would automation help your facility? No one has said no, yes? I think everyone understands that this is a critical item. We are at 100% yes so far. Give it a few more seconds here. See if anybody out there says no. Can't imagine that they will. All right. Awesome. 100% yes on that one. So that's a great stat for us. I love that you all shared that. And we're going to do 2 more quick ones, and then Garrett's going to take it away. What was your facility's biggest struggle in 2020 other than COVID-19, obviously? Facility automation, off-site management, facility access, and or gate access. Huge amount of people so far saying off-site management. Good split there between facility automation and facility access. Still heavy on the side of off-site management. The industry had to quickly pivot and adapt. We heard everyone's trials throughout COVID-19, but I'm super proud of the industry that everyone, like I said, was able to pivot very quickly and figure this out. All right, and last poll. This one's for me. Are you a member of the SBOA? And if you aren't, my next question would be, why not? All right, good. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute, I'm shocked here. 86% said no, 14% said yes. 86% that said no. Be expecting a phone call from me soon. We're going to get you onboarded and part of our organization. Membership is free, so it's definitely something you would want to take advantage of. You do not have to pay an annual membership fee, monthly fee. We are 100% free. to our members. We are a wealth of knowledge. We are partnered with the rock stars in the industry as far as industry leading partners. We can get you connected to just about everyone and anyone in this industry. So take advantage of that free membership and join the SBOA today. I'll share a link later on how you can do that. It's very easy to do through our website. Awesome. All right, Garrett, I'm coming off screen. If I have questions that I have myself, or we get some audience questions and you see me pop back on, I'm going to interrupt and give a question to you. So take it away.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it, and I, as I mentioned before, I'm excited to be here. I love the storage industry. As I mentioned before, I not only work in it; it's my 9 to 5, but I also invest in it, and that's my future. I'm assuming most people that are on here, whether they're an owner or a potential owner of a facility or facilities in the future, everyone's realized the value of these storage facilities and how passive it can be. So we're going to talk a lot about that today. And like I say, I enjoy the opportunity, Jessica, again, to be on here and to discuss with others what I've learned and some of the tools that we offer here at ESS. So some of today's objectives, we'll go ahead and, as you can see here, we're going to discuss today's market. 2021 is obviously different than it was in late 2019. We've all been through a ton in the last 12 to 14 months and how it's affected everybody in every market and every product, but self-storage is no different. There's a lot of things that have changed. We're also going to look at what to look for in a management software and some of the things that we provide here at Easy Storage. And then obviously our integrated services that we can provide as well, as I mentioned earlier. And before I dive into this too much, I just wanted to give a quick background. I skipped over a little bit of our history here at Easy Storage Solutions. One thing I love about our company is that it was actually started by facility owners as well. The original founders of the company have several facilities themselves, and so when they were putting together our software, they understood what a facility owner would need. And as the product was developed and changed over time, it was always thought of from their point of view as facility owners themselves. So pretty awesome. The new self-storage industry in 2021, like I say, it's been overstated, but COVID changed things, right? The ability to communicate with customers and not having to be on site, possibly not having to have a manager on site, was reiterated, more important now than ever. So we're going to dive into a couple of things here as far as 2020, but as I mentioned, it reiterated the importance of the ability to take online rentals with a software that can take that on is huge. Online payments, having your customers on a recurring billing. It's amazing to me how many people we still talk to on our sales team every day that are running their facility and taking cash and check primarily as their payment form. We'll jump into that here shortly, but the amount of time and effort that takes and consumes your time as a facility owner, is huge. And so if you can get your majority of your customers, if not all of them, on recurring billing, that's a big thing. User friendly, our software, obviously, being able to utilize and access that on your computer, tablet, even your smartphone. When you as a facility owner can access that from anywhere, that's huge. It enables you to work from anywhere, and we've seen that again more important in 2020 than ever. And then lastly, integrated services. We'll dive into this as we go through the presentation here, but cloud access control, having the ability to have someone locked out of your facility if they're not current on their payments, keeping the riffraff out of there, and the ability to have a new rental, a new tenant to move into your facility and automate that code for them without you having to lift a finger is huge. So all those, like I say, were important before, but now more important than ever here in 2020. So let's go ahead and jump into understanding management software. We're going to go ahead, and if there's any questions along the way, feel free, Jessica, to jump in and stop me. Would love to interact with anybody that's on the presentation here and answer any questions, but I'll dive into a couple of things here that I feel like are really important that we put together. So what should a management software do? Number one, cloud-based. Is everyone familiar with what Cloudbased is? And Jessica, I'm assuming that's something that we talk about a lot at our company here, but I wanted to dive into this a little bit more and explain what that might be. Number one, old facilities traditionally would have a software, even if they had a software in place years ago, would have a software on their computer system at the facility or possibly at their house. When the lights turn off at the facility that night, they walk away and everything stays at the facility. That's something that can inhibit you and keep you from being aware of what's going on 24 hours a day. So having your cloud-based software taken with you anywhere, whether it's your cell phone, your tablet, your laptop, wherever you are traveling around the world, and being able to keep an eye on what's going on at your facility is big. Myself, like I mentioned before, part owners of a couple facilities here and another one coming next week that we're closing on. I often find myself on the weekend, if I'm watching football on a Sunday, pulling up our software and checking out our occupancy, if there's anybody late at the facility, and just keeping that on the forefront of my mind. And so having a cloud-based software that you can access anywhere is huge and more important than ever. So pretty awesome. Electronic payment processing, wanted to jump into that, and I'll go into a little bit of detail. Speaking of our facility that we're buying up in Idaho, currently the owner lives there, not on site, but just right down the road. It's the town he lives in. He's moving away and moving to Boise, Idaho, which is several hours away. He currently does not have one customer on recurring billing. He currently takes cash and check at every single one of his units, and I cannot believe the amount of time that he spends. He literally told us that he'll drive around town and knock on some of the tenants' doors because he knows them so well. It's a small town, but the amount of time and effort that he's taking to collect payments, to me, it just blows my mind. And I will say there's some other key features of the software we'll talk about here in a few minutes that can save you a ton of time. But if you can have majority, if not all of your customers on recurring billing, that's going to cut the amount of hours that you spend at your facility or working for your facility throughout the month. You got a question there? Sorry.
Well, yeah, Garrett, I just wanted to see if this isn't related to the payment processing. This is more back on the cloud-based. So just to kind of just circle back a little bit, can you explain what it really means to be cloud-based to the audience?
Yeah, well, being cloud-based is obviously running your software and having it sitting in the cloud, meaning you can access it from anywhere. It's not downloaded on a specific computer somewhere. Like I mentioned before, if it was sitting on a desktop computer and your software was downloaded at that facility, you know, when you shut off the lights, as I mentioned before, you walk away from it and you don't have access to it anywhere. So the ability to have it accessed anywhere, you can take that with you in your pocket. I use this example all the time when I talk to folks, but we at our facility here in Southern Utah, we might be at the store at Walmart shopping and have someone reach out to you, call to see if you have an available unit. You can answer the phone and then pull up on your cell phone your site map or even your empty units and rent a unit from your phone to that customer because you have access to your software right there on your phone. So those are the types of things I'm talking about, being able to access your software anywhere, and it's pretty key and important nowadays. So, well, awesome. Well, jumping back down here to recurring billing, as I mentioned, and that's something that we're looking forward to up in Idaho. Like I mentioned, we're not planning on having a manager on site, but our goal is to have all of our customers on recurring billing. In fact, we're not even going to make it an option when we get our closing done next week. One of the first things that we're going to do is send out a template that we have in our software all ready to go, email notifications to the current tenants that we've got new owners at the facility, and we're going to be turning it over to auto pay. Now, you would think a lot of customers are nervous about that, or would be a little bit hesitant to put their payment online. But we've noticed that in 2020, as we talked about, people also are a little bit hesitant to communicate with others in person. So that's something that a lot of people, even though we think sometimes people are nervous to put their card on file or even ACH information, we found that majority of tenants also want to do that. And a couple of fun little facts that I like to share with folks is that when you have a customer on recurring billing, the chance of them staying at the facility longer than someone that's paying cash or check actually dramatically go up. And the reason being is that payment is out of sight and it's out of mind for that customer. The customer isn't being reminded of the payment that they're dropping by the facility every month or writing a check out every month and sending it in the mail. It's out of sight and it's out of mind, not only for you, but like I say, the amount of time saved is huge as a facility owner. Our goal at Easy Storage is not only to help you save time, but help you make more money. And everyone's heard that old adage that time is money, right? But if you can save yourself time by automating as many things as possible, and at the same time making more money, it's a no-brainer. So really awesome there. My next topic here I wanted to dive into was text and email notifications. I'm going to actually dive into our management software and go ahead and show you a couple key features here. This is probably one of my, if not my favorite pieces of the software. And I'm just going to go ahead and log in here and show you a few things. Feel free at any time, by the way, anybody that's on here, to reach out to our company. We would love to take you through a demo of our software. It is also open at any time. It refreshes every 24 hours, so anybody at any time can jump on our demo, go in here and play with it and see exactly all the different features that we have. I'm not going to take you through everything today, but just some of the key features that I'm pointing out here on the presentation. But our team would love to take you through a demo, or like I say, feel free to jump on our website, easystoragesolutions.com, to find our demo and go through this. So going into this, like I mentioned, one of my favorite and key features to our software is the ability to set up email and text message notifications to your current tenants. And what I do, and what we're planning on doing, for example, at our facility up in Idaho, is to get everyone there that has an email or text a number that we can contact them by text as well, and get them into our late and lien settings immediately. Now, what we do before we even send out a late notification is the first thing that they're going to actually receive is an upcoming payment notification. So everybody at our facilities will receive 7 days before their payment is due a notification, something along the lines of, hey, this is a message from ABC Storage. We appreciate your business. Simple reminder that in 7 days, your payment of X amount of dollars is due. If it's recurring and they do have their credit card or ACH information on it, it'll just let them know that we're going to process that payment for X amount of money. If it's cash or check, it's obviously saying this is just a simple reminder to get that in the mail. And you can imagine the amount of people that get that notification and get that off in the mail that same day. The amount of people that implement that, the notice of, they'll immediately notice that the payments tend to show up earlier than later. So that's a key feature. Letting the software take a lot of that heavy lifting off of your shoulders is key. I talk to people all the time that are still doing this old school. They'll get on the phone, hey, we're still waiting for your payment, what's going on? And they're calling several people a day trying to track down payment. And like the guy I mentioned up in Idaho, he's driving around door to door in his neighborhood gathering up payments, and that's the last thing you want to do as a facility owner. So diving into this, and I won't go through all the details here, but you can simply see that it also sends out notifications if the customers are late. We have this set up currently that if they're 5 days late, they're going to get another pass-through notice via email and or text. And then you can also go ahead and add a late fee. You can see here that it's currently set at $10 on the 10th day. You can go in and edit this and set this up to your liking at your facility, however you like, according to the lien laws in your state and what you're permitted to do. But like I say, this is a huge part of the software that I feel like helps save you so much time from having to call and reach out and do all those things. So lastly, you can see there, they can get locked out at 21 days. Currently is where we have that set up in the demo. If you have access control, which we've talked a little bit about today, we'll talk a little bit more as we go through this, an access control system that we integrate with, or we even offer one here that's cloud-based at Easy Storage. You can actually have that customer that's late be locked out of the facility. If they pull up and try to punch in their PIN code and they're late, they're not getting access to their unit. They go online, they pay their late fee in the previous month, and they can access their unit now. So really cool feature. Again, automating everything, taking things off of your shoulders and out of your hands, so you can go work your 9 to 5, just like myself working here at Easy Storage. I don't have time to do all those things because I'm here, and that's the key. You want this to be as passive as possible. So really awesome. You can see here, I won't dive into this, but pre-lien, lien, and auction. Just want to let everyone know, at our facilities, we've actually never sent anybody to auction. Our goal isn't to get anybody to auction. We want someone to either get us updated payment or go ahead and help them move out and get them down the road so we can rent out their facility or that unit again at the facility and just keep everything running smooth. It's not something we focus on as far as the auctions go, but sometimes you do have to get there, and depending on how serious you need to be with a tenant. So anyway, one of my favorite features there. So I really enjoy that with the text and email notification. Financial and accounting reports is the next thing I wanted to dive in, and we'll go right back over here to the software. Let me go ahead and pull up some of the reports that we have available within our software. You can see when I pull this up, it might seem a little bit overwhelming because of the amount of reports that we have here. Myself, I rarely dive into all these reports, but one thing I do like to see is our revenue at our facilities. I'll go ahead and jump into this so you can see what I'm talking about here. You can actually choose which date range you want to go ahead and see a report for. So if you wanted to see in May, anywhere from the first of the month up until now, you can go ahead and click on that report. It'll load it. You can export it as a CSV, or you can print it off as a PDF. At the end of the year, you might want to go all the way back to January 1 and load that report. So if you go ahead and just load that report, it'll line everything up there for you. And then you can scroll all the way to the bottom. It'll go ahead and show you your total amount that you've brought in. So really awesome as far as the reports go, automating that, and again, doing a lot of the heavy lifting and letting the software take care of everything and keep everything nice and tidy for you. So really awesome there. Okay, let's go ahead and dive into our sitemap. This will be really quick. I won't touch on this too much, but I wanted to go ahead and just point this out. This is a simple but yet really effective tool that we have. You can see that it's a bird's eye view. You can imagine your facility, if you're a facility owner yourself, or if you're a potential buyer of a facility or might be building, you can imagine this is a bird's eye view of the facility. This is a good tool for me to use. Like I say, if I'm on my iPhone or even my tablet, I'm out and about, someone calls me, I can jump on my sitemap and quickly see what's available. There's a legend down here at the bottom that obviously shows what each of individual unit means. I'm going to focus on green and blue. Green showing available, blue obviously showing rented. If you hover over the actual unit, you can see that it's interactive, and you can actually go in and click on that name of that tenant. It's going to take you over to their customer profile. I won't dive into everything here, but it'll show obviously how many units they have, their billing history. But one of my favorite points and parts of our software as well is the ability to text message that tenant right here through the software. You can go ahead and click on that, and it's going to store that conversation that you've had with your tenant in this profile. So if you, instead of having to, and I'm imagining there's people on this call right now or on this presentation that are currently text messaging customers and they've saved that conversation in their personal cell phone. You don't have to do that anymore. It'll save it right here. It's right here in the customer profile. So if you ever need to reflect back on something one of your tenants promised you to pay by a certain date or so on and so forth, that's it right there in the software. So really awesome ability to do that. So that sitemap's really, really awesome. And the two-way text communication that I just went over. We'll jump into our electronic lease agreement. And I'm going to do that by going over here to our website. I'm going to go ahead and show you. Let me go ahead and go back here to demostorage.com. This is something I like to point out to everybody as we take them through our management software. Our management software comes with a ready-to-go out-of-the-box website. And again, 2021 and where we're at versus a couple years ago is completely different, but it just simply, again, reiterated the importance to have the ability to rent online, and sometimes that contactless communication and ability to rent that way is more important now than ever. So this is a simple template of what your website would start with. here at Easy Storage. We include this for everybody, and then we do have an SEO and a marketing team that can even add to this and do a few more pretty cool things to doll up the website if wanted. But one thing that we do is we'll go ahead and our support team will actually create a one-time simple logo for you. You can replace that with some artwork that you guys bring to the table as well if you'd like. The blue doors in the background that you can see, we would replace those with pictures of your facility that you send over or upload yourself, and then obviously all the content here on the website. But the ability for a future tenant to jump online, click on rent storage, and see exactly what's available at your facility, and then what they'll go ahead and do when they decide which unit they would like to rent. It's not going to permit you or I right now, Jessica, to see the next page because I won't take the time to go through and fill out all their information. But once they fill that out and they've created an account, it's going to actually send them over to the next page where they're going to be prompted to e-sign the lease agreement, and then also be prompted to put on their payment information, whether it's ACH or credit card. Now that's huge because obviously you're getting that customer ready to go. They're getting all the information. They get instructions emailed to them as far as how to access their unit, and they're often going on recurring billing. That's what we do at our facilities, and because of that, the majority of our customers are on recurring billing. So pretty awesome as far as that goes. We talked about that website just barely, but like I said, choosing a software that comes with a website allows your tenants to rent units at any time. I can't tell you how many times we wake up in the morning and there's been somebody at 11 o'clock the previous night that has rented a unit from us, and we didn't have to lift a finger. They're moving in that morning and they jumped online and found us and got that taken care of on their own. And then, like I mentioned, those customers are on recurring billing. They're out of sight and out of mind, and every month that payment keeps coming out. And like I mentioned, they tend to stay at your facility longer, and you're not trying to track them down with cash and check. So pretty awesome. And we talked about our text and email reminders. Again, one of my favorite parts of the software. Takes a lot off my shoulders, and as a facility owner and for all of our customers that utilize our software. Last thing here, I just wanted to point out that we do integrate with a lot of other services as well. We have a call answering service here. We have a, do we have a question? Sorry, Jessica.
Yeah, I just wanted to pop on to go over two things. Could you share with the audience what the pros of having tenants sign up for reoccurring billing may be?
You bet. Yeah, and I appreciate you asking. And gosh, like I say, at our facility there in Idaho, I think I mentioned this earlier, but we're not even going to give the tenants an option. And the reason being is living here in southern Utah, but yet owning a facility up there, we don't plan to have anybody on site. Therefore, we're not going to have a drop box on site as well. And so we're not going to want to hire a maintenance guy or anybody else to drop by and try to pick up cash or those checks. You know, it's just one of our thoughts that we've even mentioned, you know, as we put our plan together, me and my business partners, we even thought, well, do we have a PO box that they could send cash or check to? And we just thought, you know what, we're really confident on this facility. It's full currently, even though none of them are paying recurring. We're really confident the location and the demand. They've had a ton of people they've had to push away because they don't have any empty units. So even if we lose a few customers that say, hey, I don't want to pay automatically, I'd rather send in a cash or check payment. Not to say we don't feel we don't respect their wishes, but we know that that's just going to take time off of our plate that we don't have time for with our previous obligations. So having the ability to have all of your customers on recurring billing once a month, it pulls from their account, it drops into our business account a couple days later, and we're good to go. But as I mentioned before, your customer is more likely to stay at your facility longer when they're on recurring billing. When it's out of sight and it's out of sight for them, it's off their mind. They're not being reminded of that payment once a month that they're dropping off cash or check or getting that in the mail. Like I mentioned, it's a huge time saver for everybody. And I do think nowadays facility owners, I think, love the idea of that, and it has been that way for several years. But I think tenants are starting to jump on board with that more now than ever. They don't want to be bothered. They got busy lives as well, and here we are in 2021. The world's spinning faster and faster, and the ability for a customer to have that automated, as well as all their other bills, whether it's their cell phone or any of their other home payments. Majority of people now are on paperless and recurring and all the above, and so that's huge. So hopefully that answers your question, Jessica.
It did. Thanks so much, Garrett.
You bet. Well, to jump back into this, like I say, I will just point out a couple of our integrated services. We have our call answering service here in Southern Utah. This is something that has been doing really well for us. Again, ourselves at our facilities that we currently own and what we're going to implement up there in Idaho with our property is we don't have time to answer the phone, and it's something we offer here at Easy Storage. We have a call center. All of our call center agents are located here in Southern Utah under our roof, and they're able to access the software, your software, and so they can answer on behalf of you. They see which units are available. They can rent units, take payments, help someone move out. If something's going on a little bit different at the facility that they need to get in contact with the owner, we obviously have access to the owner information. We'll reach out if needed, but majority of the phone calls is something they can handle and take that off the plate of the facility owner. So that's an awesome tool. We do have a bookkeeping department that obviously can keep your books and get everything prepared for you to hand over to your CPA at the end of the year for your taxes and keep everything nice and tidy for you as far as that goes. And then we do have our SEO and our marketing team that obviously does a good job at making sure that website that we talked about gets eyes on it, that's being found. And so it's a pretty awesome thing. Question, Jessica?
Well, two questions and a comment. First question, all these additional services that ESS offers, they integrate in with the management software. Can you explain that?
They do, yeah, great question. So an example, if you have our call answering service, for example, and somebody reaches out to our call answering service and they want to rent a unit, our call answering service, all those agents have access to the software itself. So when they call in, it automatically pulls up that page and they will answer on behalf of your facility as if they're a manager sitting behind the desk at your facility. And so they can see which units you have available, your tenants. If a specific tenant calls in, they can pull up that profile like I showed you a few minutes ago. They can go ahead and do the work that you would have as a manager at the facility or an owner. So those are some of the things that are pretty awesome. The other thing, integration wise, I wanted to point out, our SEO and our marketing team are second to none in the industry. And the reason why I believe they're so good at what they do and making you rank higher on Google and any other search engine optimization pages, the ability to be professional at this industry. Like I say, they're under our roof as well. They focus on our industry. They're not marketing for other companies in other industries, and so they know exactly what makes the world go round in the self-storage industry. And because of that, they're able to really enhance those sites. So pretty awesome. Hopefully that answers some of your questions there.
Yeah, it did. And that was actually going to be my comment. I know your team over there for digital marketing is led by Ken Turley. I've worked with them previously on other webinars and educational resources for the industry, and they are a great team. I would highly suggest anyone out there that is having issues with SEO optimization, Google AdWords, Google My Business, etc., get in touch with that team to learn more. It's very advantageous for you all to do that. Just to circle back over to the websites again, I know you were showing some features where you could put in a photo of the facility versus like a stock image photo. Are there different templates so the website could look different? Tell me how that works.
You bet. And that's a great question, Jessica. We have roughly 7,000 customers here now at Easy Storage. Many of those are using, you mentioned Ken Turley. He's the one that oversees our marketing and our SEO department. Specifically, that department can really go in and, like I say, make sure your website gets all the things and the little bells and the whistles that you might want. Me personally, this is one thing I love about the self-storage industry. It's something that you want to make sure someone finds your page when they're searching for self-storage and they land on your page. But our simple website, out of the box, clean, ready to go, they can land on that page and they're going to be prompted to rent a unit. And that's the biggest feature for me. But like I say, there are times and places, and depending on your facility and what your potential tenant looks like, you might want to doctor it up a little bit and do more. And like I say, that's where that SEO and that marketing team comes into play. But like I say, with all of our customers that have our simple out of the box website, every single one of them looks different. And the reason why is they choose different fonts and colors and pictures and all the above and make it their own. So it's kind of fun for them to go in and be able to choose what that ends up looking like. So we do have that one simple template. But then, like I say, we do have our SEO and marketing that really can enhance it. But you get to plug in and play and make it your own. So pretty awesome.
Yeah, that is critical, especially for branding, to set yourself apart from your competitors out there. So thank you for sharing. I'm going to let you finish this off.
You bet. Well, I appreciate the time again, and hopefully, I know for a lot of the storage facility owners out there, you might be in the market for buying another facility or helping automate some things at your facility. Hopefully, I answered some questions that might be impactful for them, but also all the people out there that are thinking about the industry. Gosh, what an exciting industry to be in. And like I mentioned, I love getting in here and talking about it because it is the future for a lot of us. It's our plan for retirement, right? And I love it. It's one of those industries that's almost hard to fail because us as Americans, we all know we consume like crazy, and these are getting built everywhere. It seems like, I'm sure everyone in here feels like there's another storage facility going up right around the corner in every town in America, but they feel right up. And like I say, that's where you can be bullish, and that's where you can be really confident on automating a lot of these things. You know, when it comes to recurring billing, we're not worried about losing tenants because we have such a demand for people that are trying to move into our facility. We're not worried about that. So as we close on that next week and flip the switch on things like recurring billing and automating, we're not worried about it. People are used to that, and that's the way that things are going here in 2021. So if anybody is interested in learning more, Jessica, I appreciate the time that I've had to share things here, but there's a lot that we didn't cover. Feel free to jump on, request a demo on our website. Any of our sales reps would love to take you through and answer any of our questions, point out some of the features, hear what's going on. Another thing that I feel like we have a lot of knowledge about, like I mentioned, not only do we work in the industry, but the majority of the sales reps on my team own self-storage as well. I'm partners with a couple of them on a couple facilities, and them as well on other facilities. And because they have that knowledge of either building or buying a facility and automating things, it's a really good contact to have. So we'd love to take you through that and answer any questions we can. So we look forward to talking to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Garrett, so much. And before we wrap up, I mean, we do still have another 15 minutes of time allotted. If anyone from the audience has any questions, now is your opportunity to ask them while you have Garrett and myself live. Garrett is sharing this page here with his contact information. We will send out a follow-up reminder email after this webinar, so you will have Garrett's information direct. So if anyone has any questions, now's the time. While we're waiting for maybe some of those remaining questions to come in, I'm just going to go over a couple more items. I hope everyone found this information today useful for them in their business and has further questions, and maybe will contact Easy Storage Solutions to learn more. As always, if you ever need to get in touch with Easy or any of our other service providers that we use within our savings program, you can reach out to the SBOA. We're here to make connections between our members and the proud partners. That's what we do. It's like cooperative. That's why it's called the Alliance. And also, we have on-site staff that does calls. His name is Dave Manning. He's our business consultant. I put his information in the chat area as well as my information. If you're a vendor that we don't currently partner with, please feel free to reach out to me to discuss that opportunity directly. I put the SBOA's website information, and then all of Easy's, ESS, easier to say. All of your information as far as all of your critical links for your social platforms are in the chat. If you could copy those and take those down with you, that would be great. Again, we will send those out after the webinar for follow-up. And if you have anything that you're in need of, again, please always reach out to us. We record all of these live webinars and they get repurposed and repositioned on our website. So if you, for any reason, are not able to attend live, by the end of today, you should be receiving an email with the video recording if you would like to rewatch it. And for those out there that were not able to join us live, you'll be able to log in and watch the replay of today's live webinar. And if you don't get our email notifications, our newsletters, I would highly suggest following the Join SBOA link that I put in the chat. You can join. Again, membership is free. Garrett, it doesn't look like any further questions have trickled in at this point. So I think we are at a point where we can probably wrap up a couple minutes early. If that's cool with you, it's cool with me. And again, thank you guys so much for taking the time to put this presentation together. Tons of information. I know you guys have a lot of services and products that are useful for the self-storage industry, and it would behoove anyone that's an owner-operator to get in touch with your team and learn more.
Thank you. I appreciate your time and look forward to talking with anyone out there. We're happy to answer any questions. And thanks again, Jessica, for the opportunity. I love, like I mentioned, discussing the industry, and it's something I'm passionate about. So thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have to come up with a different name. Say Easy Storage Solutions 3 times fast. That's a tongue twister. I just call you guys ESS. It's way easier.
Yeah, there you go. We'll get it away. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Take care. Tune in next week. We have another live webinar with storageauctions.com, Alana Ross and Jim Mooney from Freedom Self Storage. Information about that webinar is coming out today. You need to get connected to ESS. Please reach out to Garrett on your own or reach out to the SBOA and we'll make sure to get you guys connected. Everyone have a fantastic Thursday. I'm going to go network and see all of my self-storage industry buddies and peers at Florida SSA. If you're not part of your local state association, please go to SSA and figure out what association you need to join. Highly recommend that you join either the National Self-Storage Association or your state self-storage association. It is a critical thing to do. You get to come to cool conferences like this, meet a lot of people, network, hear from some of the industry experts, and then obviously meet our awesome vendor providers like ESS at these different type of trade shows that are coming up. So thank you, everyone. Take care. Good to see everyone virtually. Hope to see you live soon. Have a great day.
Thanks. We'll see you.
Bye. Take care.